What's good, YouTube? It's Justice I Used to Be Pay, and today I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how rap is getting older. But before I get into that, make sure you leave a like, a subscribe, share it, do all that stuff. It helps me out a ton. As a genre, rap is one of the newer music genres in terms of like the really big giants like the pop, the rock, the country. It's still pretty new because hip hop literally just turned like 50 this year. And 50, I know it sounds old to us young people, but it's really not even that old. Like my parents are both older than hip hop. So that just goes to show you that hip hop hasn't been around for really that long. And not only has it not been around for a long time, for an even shorter amount of time has it been like a major player in the music industry, maybe for only like the last like 30 to 20 years. Rap as a genre has always been really young. And I don't just mean that in the sense of like it hasn't been around for very long. I mean in the sense of the people who typically push the culture of rap forward are young people. It's typically people in their late teens to early 20s that come in and take over the game and change the culture and decide what's cool, what's not, and all that type of stuff. The old school typically gets taken out behind the barn like Old Yeller by the new school. That's just how things kind of work in rap. And when I say old school, it's usually just rappers that are like over 35, which really isn't old in real life. But in rap, that's kind of old. But as of recently, a lot of rappers who we would normally consider as older have been at the top for a lot longer than what they used to be. Rappers above the age of 35 like Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, and Future are all still top dogs in the rap game. They're still the biggest hit makers and they're still the best album sellers. Now, this isn't necessarily anything new, but it's just a little bit different than how things were in the past. It isn't unique for rappers 35 to 40 plus to still have very successful careers, still sell great numbers. You look at somebody like Eminem. Eminem can probably sell 300K pretty much every time he drops and still do like stadium level performances. So it's not necessarily new, but the main difference between guys like Eminem and Nas and the success that they have later in their career versus the names I mentioned previously is how they still affect modern day rap culture. All of the names I listed are still relevant to this day. They are still culturally relevant in this modern era. They still have a say-so on what is and what isn't hip hop culture, what is and what isn't cool, what people do and don't do, what they listen to and what they don't listen to. Like all of these people still have a massive impact on pretty much everything in the culture, especially the youth, which is probably the most important thing in terms of staying modern day relevant. And Drake is 37, Nicki Minaj is 40, J. Cole is 38, Kendrick Lamar is 36, Future is 40, and Kanye West is 46. But they are still the superstars in rap and still are the focus of modern day rap culture. And there's really no threat to them being pushed out of the spot that they're in besides them just not wanting to do it anymore. There isn't like a whole bunch of young artists who are consistently at their necks at every breathing moment, kind of like how 50 Cent was when he first got into the game and really first started to blow up. But this doesn't really exist today, and the older artists are the ones that are pushing the culture. Kanye is pushing 50 years old, and he's probably still the most culturally relevant artist in terms of sonically and especially in terms of fashion as well. And then Drake, who's pushing 40, is without a shadow of a doubt the biggest rapper in the world. And all of these older rappers are still our modern day superstars. They are still the people that are in every tabloid. They're still in every news. They're still on every blog channel. Their every move is getting posted by academics in the shade room. Like these are our modern day current superstars, and they're all of what we would typically consider advanced age in hip hop. And rap fans have gotten older. Like I mentioned before, my parents literally grew up at the same time as the genre, and then the people after them grew up with the genre pretty much being there the entire time in their life and being something that was always huge. And now we have people like me, but you get the point. Rap fans have gotten older as well, and some people are getting older and still holding on to the genre. But for the most part, the people that still are the biggest fan base of rap is young people. That really hasn't changed. So the people that are dictating the culture and pushing the culture forward are older people. That's not what's changed. The artists have gotten older, but the fans are still youth. The fans are still young people. They have just started to take a liking to these older stars. There are countless amounts of young fans whose favorite rapper is Drake or Kanye or Nicki Minaj, even though a lot of their career took place before that person was even like cognizant or maybe even alive. And I will say a lot of this is due to these older stars not only like sticking around for a little bit longer, but also adapting to the new era, adapting to these new sounds that have gotten popular, and purposefully trying to stick around for a little bit longer than rappers used to back in the past. Like if you listen to Pink Friday 2, Nicki Minaj's newest album, that very much sounds like a 2023 album. There is a Jersey Club song on the album. There's a sped up sample of a newer hit song. Like it feels very much modern. It's very much on purpose that Nicki is appealing to people who are listening to hip hop right now today. And the same thing was said with Drake's For All the Dogs. And honestly, that was a major complaint for a lot of people, that it sounded too modern. It sounded like it was for the kids. It didn't sound like it was for his OG fans or his older fans. It sounded like Drake was trying to appeal to who's listening to hip hop right now. And if you look at guys like Future and Kanye, they kind of pioneered the sound that is popular today. They're the guys who these younger artists are looking at and kind of imitating and taking a lot of inspiration from. So maybe they're not making music for 2023 in that sense, but they are 2023 music. So that's a major difference as well. Not only are these artists sticking around for a little bit longer, but they're still trying to gain new fans. They're still appealing to people who are young and maybe missed the early parts of their career and don't really understand why people love them so much. And now, honestly, this is not a revelation, what I'm saying in this video. This has kind of been a phenomenon that's seen across all things celebrity and superstardom. Superstardom has kind of gotten a little bit more rare as social media has grown, because we have so much access to these people on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. We see these people everywhere, every single day. And so it kind of loses a little bit of that luster that typically comes with celebrityhood and superstardom. So that aura that used to exist with celebrities back in the day doesn't really exist now. And for the celebrities that still kind of have that aura, they are seen as greater levels of celebrity or greater levels of superstar than the ones who are coming up now who don't really have that aura anymore. And now, do I think this is inherently a bad thing? Not necessarily. I think it just shows how great the star power was of the generation of artists that really got popping in like the 2010s and the 2000s if you're Kanye. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it is a little bit concerning that we don't really have a whole bunch of new superstars in rap. We have guys that are pretty big. I'd say the only like newer superstar that we have is Travis Scott. And even if you look at Travis Scott, he's no spring chicken. He's in his early 30s as well. And he's already been around for almost a decade in the mainstream light. So it's not like he's anyone that's brand new. I guess the guy after that would probably be Lil Baby, but it's few and far between in terms of superstar or even superstar potential in this modern era. And now this isn't for me to say that this new era of rap is bad and they're not making good music, because they are making great music. They're making fantastic music. The quality isn't necessarily the problem, in my opinion. It's just we don't really have that star power. And I think we desperately need it if we're going to continue to push forward into the future as a genre. Because if I look up one day and Drake is pushing 50 and he's still the biggest rapper in the game, and Nicki Minaj is pushing 50 and she's still the biggest female rapper in the game, I think we're in trouble. I think there's some issues there, because that shouldn't happen. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I just thought it was an interesting observation that a lot of our superstars in rap are a lot older than what you would typically expect them to be, and have gotten progressively older. Like Kanye is literally in the center of rap right now, and he's almost 50. That's insane. I don't know if that says more about Kanye or the modern culture. I would say it probably says more about Kanye, but it does say a little bit about our modern levels of superstardom in rap, or the lack thereof. But if you agree or you disagree, let me know down below in the comments. If I'm a genius, if I'm an idiot, whatever you got to say. This is just something that I thought was kind of interesting and wanted to point out, but you guys let me know down below in the comments what you think about this video. Have a great day. Be safe. Be blessed. Peace.